Hi Trish. We're going to try again. I think Shruti was working from her Apple Mac, so I'm hoping that was the case why it wasn't working. Here she is.
Hello. Hi, finally.
Oh my goodness me. I love Facebook now. Now it's working. So we figured out that yeah, I had to do it on my mobile, so let's hope my mum doesn't call. And you were working from your Mac, so now we know.
Yeah, now we know.
Now we know.
Erik was, yeah, that's what Erik was saying. Use your phone, use your phone. He's telling me to use my phone, and I couldn't understand why.
Oh no. Oh well, now we know. Oh, I'm so glad we've got it sorted.
Yeah, so glad. Sorry about that. Hi everyone. Erik said hello everyone. He's very excited.
Oh, fantastic. I was just introducing you, but I've been on and off a couple of times, so a few people joined and a few people may have heard a very short introduction I gave. But Shruti, introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, what you do, and your journey through getting to know Erik, really, and how you work with him.
Oof, wow, long journey. Well, it all started since I was born, or since I got an awareness. I used to get questions and get to know if anybody's going to pass, so sort of trans family. But consciously, I started channeling with Erik. Till then, it was unconscious. So I've had a experience while meditating and stuff, but never really understanding what is happening to me until I discovered a YouTube video popped up while I was just doing my general YouTube search. It was a video, and it was amazing. It was life-changing watching that video for me. And the same, he popped in my dream. He started chatting to me about everything, consciousness, everything in my dreams. And then I sort of constantly started feeling him around. And he started coaching me. I signed up to a spiritual coach program that he had started back in 2013, I guess. There were many mediums who signed on, and I was one of them. And he just helped me to learn how to channel consciously, and he put me where I am today. He still helps me with my reading. He's always there in the background. He simplifies everything, so easy to channel. It's wonderful working with him since like it's now 3-4 years working with him.
Really? And Erik was what, 20 was he when he took his own life?
Yes, yeah, he was about 20 years.
So how long has it been? How many years ago was that? How long has it been since he's been kind of coming through?
I think he passed away in 2009.
Right.
Yeah, and after that, I think Alyssa started talking to him via mediums. It was life-changing for her, information that coming through from Erik, and he was so happy to talk about his experience in the afterlife. Yeah, so probably in 2009, 2000, she must have started the blog. I'm sorry, I don't know when it was.
No, I mean, I've been watching the show for probably about a year or something like that, and totally got embraced by the whole thing. I mean, I just think his mother, Elisa, I don't know how she does it, but she does it for the greater good. It's all designed to help people, and Erik brings through messages from people who have crossed over to the other side, and he also channels philosophy about what it's like over there, about spirituality, dimensions, the afterlife, you know, and in some ways the meaning of life. Okay, maybe from his perspective, having crossed over, but either way, it's absolutely fascinating stuff. And I do have some questions that I would like to ask, which I'm sure everybody's interested in. And
well, Erik is ready.
would he like to just talk about something himself, or would he prefer me to ask questions?
When we were chatting yesterday, we came up with probably it was Erik. He came up with stress and anxiety, because that seems to be like the pressing at the moment with everyone. So that would be a good topic to start with.
Yeah, okay. I know whenever I put a post out about stress and anxiety, and a technique that I put out called PPF, I got so many views on that. So, and a lot of people message me to say how it helps them. Now, I don't know if they were suffering with anxiety or stress or just having a challenging day, but it seems that this is such a big topic for people. How to manage themselves emotionally is a really big problem for people. And I know, kind of, you know, with the economy over the last few years, there's been so many more pressures put upon people to do more work for the same amount of pay or less pay, and life is just so demanding for people. So what can Erik tell us about the spiritual meaning of it, or any advice?
When I was chatting to Erik about, and he was talking about how stress is related to resistance. You know, so he gave me an image of a car that's moving at a certain speed, and when you slam the brakes, there's a resistance, and that causes stress because then the car won't stop. So stress is that resistance. It's you're applying brakes to your life in a certain way to stop the car. If it's too much, it can break you down. And it also means that the car is moving, in the sense we want to keep moving our life, and our the natural state for us is happiness. And if we resist the happiness, we resist what excites us. And if we slam the brakes and move into the other direction, so something we don't feel excited to do, something that doesn't call us, you know. So he was also talking about how excitement cancels out the stress. So let's say a person is following his or her heart and doing what excites him or what excites her, you know, and not sort of getting into the pressure of society and doing what is, you know, sort of right. So I need to do this to pay my bills, and I can't follow my, that's just my hobby, I can't really sustain myself. So in that case, that person feels more stress, because apart from doing something that he or she doesn't like, there's there's other things that stress the person doing. Then they have to learn about it. It's like everywhere you're pushing yourself to do it, and it feels stressful. And more, if you add more work to it, other pressure, then it just breaks you down. But let's say if you're following something that does excite you, that even if there are blockages, even if it's demanding, even if it's stressful, the sort of excitement of doing it, the happiness of doing it, cancels out the stress. You know, so that is what you're talking about. Most of the stress and anxiety is related to you sort of not following your inner guidance system, not following your excitement to do what you want to do. And you will feel stressed because you're going against your guidance system, you know. Many people are doing that at the moment. It's a massive level, you know. We are sort of growing up in an outdated education system. We are following an outdated paradigm. of existence, um, which needs updation. It doesn't agree with us anymore on a collective level. We need to find a paradigm that will allow us to sustain ourselves while following our passions, while following our excitement. So it is related to that. If you have the courage to try something out, to that while allowing you to pay the bills and sustain yourself, then that will help you to de-stress. And there are other techniques like mindfulness meditations, or you can, if you cannot uh, sort of take that risk at the moment, then make sure you give yourself time to do what makes you happy. Let's say if painting makes you happy, make sure you some time every week, if not every day, for yourself. Paint. If going out on a walk makes you happy, make sure you do that. Little things really help to de-stress. His words.
Does anybody have any? Okay, Shruti.
Yeah, it's okay for me.
Yeah, just keep your phone still a little bit, because I think it might just be playing with the connection a bit. I'm just trying to see if I can see any comments on that. Let me just check.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Right. Let me just check on a different on my laptop, and let's just see if there's anything that comes through. So it's funny because I am obviously putting together training life coaches at the moment, and a part of that, I obviously need to teach the traditional life coaching regime, because it's tried, tested, etc., and it's easy to work with for new coaches. But a part of that moving forward, I'm passionate about healing. I'm passionate about people like living from their heart, living purposely, and living with passion, and finding meaning in the work that they do, even if they feel it's a mundane job. So, one of the questions that I wanted to ask was, what change would Erik like to see in the world? If I'm kind of training a group of people who will then touch the lives of many other people, and that will continue to happen, what's the most important thing that I could be teaching these coaches? So they're not just coaches, they're actual healers. They may not call themselves healers, but changing people's lives.
Well, talking about non-judgment, he's talking about how important it is, if you are doing this sort of work, talking about how important it is to always stay on the fence and not go outside. So always keep yourself on the fence, open, and sort of observe yourself, keep observing yourself as, are you judging anything? Are you going black or white? Because that you're in that place, it doesn't help anyone, self or anyone you're trying to work with. So we was talking about that, keeping yourself on the fence, open, flexible. It's very important for a person who's doing to be in that mindset.
And how important is forgiveness?
Forgiveness. How important is forgiveness? He's saying forgiveness is not something you or you can force yourself, sort of tell yourself you need to forgive. He's saying it can't happen that way. It comes automatically with compassion. So what we need to work on is developing compassion within ourselves, and that automatically brings on the forgiveness. Because forgiveness can't be achieved on its own. It comes with compassion. I think Gary has a question there.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's saying stress is the natural friction of movement. from pressing ourselves towards bearable limits of stress endurance, we sense achievement. To be absolutely relaxed equals non-utilization. Adrenaline inspires experience. That's true, Gary. I agree with that. You know, if it, it's he's I would say he's talking about a contract, you know. So yes, we do come here to have an experience and to learn from it. But when we talk about following our inner guidance, it does not that there will not be any stress on that. There will still be, you will still have stressful situations, but your excitement of following your passion or following your excitement will make things easier and make probably learning enjoyable rather than it being too stressful. And yes, I do believe that when you are able to your limits and get through to what you do, you do feel a sense of achievement, and that's a very nice feeling. I do agree with you, Gary.
I agree with what Gary says, but also it's how you deal with stress. Some people can thrive on stress and some people thrive on adrenaline, but we're not to experience and what's causing people the problem. So it's how you perceive stress and how you deal with stress. Stress in a mechanical sense, yeah, it's a natural friction of movement, but in a human experience, and it causes detriment to the body. Stress can give you motivation, and it's very good at doing that in certain situations. But stress over long periods of time can lead to, you know, more serious human conditioning, which is what people are trying to avoid on a day-to-day life. I mean, most people on a daily life are just trying to get by, and they feel in a low state of anxiety. But over long term, then it goes into a chronic condition, and that's what we want to avoid. So it brings me on to asking a question that's quite deep. And it's a question I was pondering to myself yesterday, because I do have these mad moments where I just go off into my head. And I wanted to ask Erik or yourself about the experiences that we are supposedly contracted before we get here into this, you know, 3D world. Apparently, we make a contract that these are the experiences we want to experience for our learning and growth, maybe. So how does it work with the universe and the planets and the alignment? With you know, I really enjoy astrology, and having read my chart and compared it to my kind of soul plan with the soul plan readings that I do based on numerology, it all lines up for me to have these experiences that I know I've had. And I'm just wondering, how does everything have to be in alignment to create and set up these experiences? How does it work?
Let me give you an image that Erik is putting in my head. Imagine sort of a blob of elastic material, okay, and it changes and morphs shape, and sort of every speck on that ball of plastic is, let's say, every consciousness that has an illusion of separation from that ball. Okay, so every speck has to sort of move how with how the elastic, that ball is moving, how the material is moving. So those are the set boundaries or set limits that we work with.
Okay.
And find space in that movement to move as we want. So there is this set limit to follow, and in that set of limits we have a free, and we make choices depending on the options we have available in front, depending on what's going on around us, and we choose from those options, and we choose the contracts that we to experience. We choose the learning that we want to do when we come into life. So it's like we are a part of whole, and within the whole, we also have our own free will. So this is how everything coordinates. Everything is synchronized, and everything works with each other. But we have this illusion of separation. So everything around us is coordinated. It's working together, and within those limits, we choose what we want to do when we come, and that's how we choose our contracts.
Okay.
And our soul family and our friends and everyone, they are the, you can say they're the one close to us. There is no space and time, but just sort of an illusion. They're the closest to us, around us, and we like to work together. We sort of have the same that we want to experience. We work together in having those experiences and contracts.
So the people who are in our lives, because this is another, sorry, I might go a bit deep and go off on a tangent here, but
let's go deep. Yeah.
So they say we're all connected and we all come from the one source.
Yeah.
But we have our individuality.
Yeah. Illusion.
So when we, like, I'm talking to you and you're a very separate person to me.
Yeah.
Are we the same person metaphysically on a kind of, because we are just energy? So how what makes us different? What gives us our identity?
It's to do with our emotions. So there is a certain array of emotions that Anne-Marie can experience that Shruti cannot.
Okay.
And there is a certain array of emotions that Shruti can experience, Anne-Marie cannot.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a passion to protect animals who are in the shelters. And let's say I have a passion to eradicate hunger from the world, to feed for little children. I can't bear to see a child suffering.
Yeah.
So because I feel those emotions within me for them, and Anne-Marie feels some emotions for let's say the dogs in the shelter, which Shruti cannot. I don't feel so passionate. Yes, if I think about it a lot, if I try to feel it, I will. And if you feel for the children, you will. But it's something you're passionate about because you experience those emotions. You came down with those emotions, and Shruti came down with other emotions, and it's all about which are the emotions I want to learn now. And it's about what emotions do you want to learn now, or remember them, not learn, but remember them. In our purest state, we are all understanding. We are all encompassing. So sort of we feel all the emotions of joy, of sadness, and it's all gray. There is no black and white, but it the different emotions we come down with, and different experience that we come down with on this earth. When I say come down, I mean the earth. That makes us separate. If we all can experience all the emotions, if we the complete non-judgmental sort of love for everyone, selfless, overwhelming, that love for everyone, then we are all one in that sense. Our emotions is what makes us one. Does that make sense?
It does. I always kind of imagine it that we've all kind of expand whatever from this one source, whatever that one source was, that energy field, and we've all decided to have this experience here and have these have these experiences, so we feel these different emotions as you've explained. So where do those emotions get fed back to? Because is it just for our human experience to experience, it goes no further than our physical body, or where is it projected back to?
It's projected, Erik is saying it's projected back to the higher self.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I get that.
I don't get that, but he's saying it's projected back to the higher self. But isn't that just all connected? Yeah, he's saying no, the higher self is still closer to source. So because it has a lot more experiences going on everywhere. Gary has is saying something else.
Gary, I think Gary's saying he doesn't understand what the hell I just said. I'm not sure. He's saying, or is life just a brief firework moment? Is the best we can hope for is that our explosion may capture others' attention enough for them to react with a wondrous aha. Possibly, Gary.
Possibly.
That's what you want it to be. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, we create our own reality, so
you can create a wondrous aha if that's what you wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's what excites you then, yes.
So our higher self, when they talk about our higher self, okay, can you explain that to people? Because there's there's so much language around you know, spirituality and things like that, and higher self is a term that gets branded around a lot. And you know, people refer to their higher selves as being kind of above them, out there somewhere. You know, I believe we are connected to a higher version of us that kind of knows what it wants for us on here on earth, or knows the best possible experience we can have here. And obviously with our free will, that's where our choices and consequences come in. So how does it work with the higher self, and how are we connected to it?
Erik is showing me the same image that he has explained before. It's about the wheel of a bicycle. So every speck is physical experience that we are having, and in the middle is the higher self.
Right.
So you know, the higher self is being fed by each of these experiences, and the higher self decides how many incarnations, what sort of experience, the contracts, and it's sort of the essence of us that keeps that always hangs in the higher dimension. It has more clarity, has more experience, because it draws on all the other lives going on.
Right.
So that's how it explains the higher self.
Okay. So is it advisable for us, if we're ever in a situation, to try and tune in to our higher self? And what is the best way to connect?
He's saying you're always connected to a higher self, but you can do it more consciously. He's saying your higher self communicates to you by your again, it comes back to your inner guidance system. What do you feel guided to do? You know, that's your higher self. If when you are spending time doing what you enjoy doing, when you spend time doing something what makes you happy, then you are in that moment. You know how a painter can get lost while painting, because completely with it. At that moment, he is completely in sync with his higher self. So that is, you know, our best work and our best channeling, our best moments come out of those moments when we are completely in sync with our higher self.
Okay. So would I be right in thinking that, let's say I came here and one of my biggest challenges has been separation, abandonment, self-esteem, self-worth, that kind of, I've had that resonance. would my higher self want to experience that? And what is the point for me? Kind of, is the point to experience that as a challenge? And some people may always live under that line, so always have that running their life, that theme running their life, have it as a fear, never kind of break through to the other side and think, okay, I do feel that, but actually it's not the way that I need to live. I can take chances anyway, and I can do this thing that I want to do anyway, and I can face the fear anyway. Why would the higher self want to experience negative things? Is the point to find the positive in it, or not?
He's saying there can be as many reasons as there are people for choosing an experience. So let's say it was about you. You wanted to experience how it feels to be abandoned, and still be able to live happily. Work on the emotions. So when you experience something, a situation like abandonment, it generates some emotions in. It gives you a chance to experience them. It gives you a chance to understand them, and it gives you a chance to overcome them, and sort of generate non-judgment about create compassion about it. And sometimes it can be about once you have overcome that experience, once you have experienced those emotions and overcome them, then your higher self might want to help someone else who's in that situation.
Yeah.
That might be something that you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
By experiencing it yourself, you can then choose to help others.
Absolutely. For me, that feels completely true. But what about the people who don't feel that way? I mean, is that what every person who experiences, I don't know, trauma, issues of some kind, I don't know, depression, disability, etc., is that the reason? Is that everybody's purpose or not? To then to go on to help other people in some way, to be able to be compassionate, to understand people because they've been in that experience, or not? Because some people don't ever think that way.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? He's saying it's not everyone's purpose to go on and help others. It might just be about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It might just be about to experience this, and sort of remember these emotions again, and work with them in some way. He's saying as is meaningless, we give it purpose. We decide through our free will what we want to achieve when we come on this planet.
And if we don't fulfill it in this lifetime, is that when we have to come back and do the whole goddamn thing again?
Yeah. So it's not sort of an external judgment. You didn't do what you were supposed to, so you have to come. It's self. It's for us. It's our choice. So and usually when we want to experience something and we want to achieve a certain level of remembrance, remembering the experience, remembering the emotions, then we do want to come back and keep doing that, sort of to experience that. He keeps telling me, Shruti, you need to do this work, because I keep resisting it. I tell everyone, but it's me, I keep resisting it. He says, you've been trying to do this since so many lifetimes, and are you just going to let it go this time as well? And that's really, and I'm like, no, I'm going to do it this time. I don't want to keep coming back trying to do it.
Exactly. No, exactly. I just
so
know
much coming back.
I don't want to come back. I've just noticed Lorna. Hi, Lorna. Lorna's
Hi,
written. She's lovely, Lorna. I know, Lorna. Why do some souls contract so many traumatic experiences in one lifetime? That's a good question.
because they are brave, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, you do see some people, and they just seem to, and I do wonder what they've decided to take on in this lifetime. When you see people who go through losses, bereavements, and some really nasty, heavy challenges. So, what is the spiritual meaning of that?
He's saying it just you know, they think they can get through it. You know, they are brave enough, or he's saying, or sometimes silly enough to take on too much on their plates. And some people, you know, he's giving me an analogy of a boomerang. What is it called? You know, the thing that you pull, elastic rubber band, you
Yeah,
move it.
right.
So you know, that's how if you have more experiences, the more tension you have in the elastic, and the more further back you go, the more speed you get to go to the light, to go to the other side.
Right.
So it's hoping to jump higher on the learning experience.
I understand
You know,
that.
why some people can to have a lot of traumatic experiences. Hi, Alison. Alison is watching.
Oh, yeah, we've got a nice number watching. Does it, this has just popped into my head. Is there anybody in the group that's watching now? Does Erik have a message for anybody in the group, or anyone who's passed over, that anybody in this group?
Let me just quickly go through. I think he just wants to say I love you to Alison.
Hi, Alison.
Hey, Jackie. Erik, do you have any message? He wants to say he loves everyone, and he wants to just talk to everyone and say that he will be there to help them if they choose to follow their inner guidance in a path. He will guide them, and if you're open to it, he's saying, yeah, he wants to come and talk to everyone and work with them. You know, whoever wants to follow the inner guidance system, he's very happy to help.
Yeah, good. Okay. So Shruti, thanks, Erik. So we'll probably start to wrap it up a little bit now. Shruti, you are doing something in India, aren't you, with Erik soon? Tell us about that.
Yes. So I'm doing an event in India, a channeling Erik event. Yeah. And it's on the 29th of December in Mumbai, and you are invited to come, and I will be trans-channeling Erik. You know, he will be answering a lot of your questions if you have any questions for him. And we'll be also talking about how you can develop your intuitive abilities, skills, and how to channel. Really, we'll be working with tools, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
That's amazing. And will you be doing one in London at all?
Not at the moment plans. I think Deepika and Alison have. Oh, come on, Alison. Guidance on my soul contract, if possible. Alison's soul contract. Why are you dancing? He started dancing. He's talking about Mother Medicine. Oh yes, next year. He's talking about motherhood, and he's talking about loving self. So, Alison, I think it's about loving self, non-judgment, being non-judgmental of yourself. That's your soul contract, he's saying. But I guess you already knew that. And Alison is saying, year, probably mid-year, the channeling Erik event. Yeah, let's do it, Alison.
Let's do it. Let's get to London. I'll get some people down there for you. That'd be amazing.
And Deepshika has a question. She says, any messages for me, Erik? He's saying, hey, Deepshika. He's saying you're doing some really good work on yourself, which I agree with, because I know her. She's my friend. He just wants her to relax more. Deepshika, Erik wants you to relax more and work on having less thoughts in your mind, less monkeys in your mind, and just keeping yourself quite in a calm, blank state all the time. And that will that's going to benefit you a lot. Jenna, anything for Jenna, Erik? Jenna, Erik is talking about relationship for you. Any relationship questions? Any questions to do with relationships? He just wants to say that will get better. The situation will get better. Jenna.
Jen hasn't responded, but she might do.
Yeah. All right, okay.
Okay. And Jackie Abbott, I know she's asked, so I don't want to leave anyone out now we started. A message for Jackie Abbott.
Jackie. Hey, Jackie. Yeah, Jackie says, watch out, because he's going to come and prank you. He's going to visit you. That's for Jackie.
Oh, good luck, Jackie. Oh, goodness me. Well, we'll do this again. And Jenna, what should I do to make my relationship with my son soon to be stepdaughter better? Okay, so she is having a bit of a relationship issue. Does Erik have any words of advice there?
Yeah. He's talking about, Jenna, you don't need to do anything. He's saying just give her some time, give her space, be yourself. And she just needs some time and space, and she will come round. There's nothing you need to do at the moment. Just don't push too much, don't try too much, and it will happen gradually. Give her some time and space.
Okay.
It will happen on its own.
Okay. And okay, Shruti, you can't leave me out.
Erik says, Anne-Marie, I love you so much. he'll work with you more.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
yeah.
And Shruti, where can people find you for a reading?
If you are looking for a reading, you can go to my site. Go to my profile page on Facebook, and you should find the address to my website, which is ShrutiKamble.com. My first name, my last name.
Okay, I'll put the link up in this post. So yeah, we'll do this again, and we'll talk about other topics because it's just fascinating. I love it, and we'll get people on again, and we'll answer people's questions. And Shruti, you're going to be working under the Soul Academy, Soul Awakening Academy soon, and you're going to be doing meditation, mindfulness, meditation, and possibly, you know, if people are interested, we can help them with their developing their psychic abilities as well. Yeah, so yeah, watch this space. So I feel that 2018 is going to be a really good year for us both.
Yes, it will be, I'm sure. Yeah, so just a quick line about that. If you want to develop your psychic abilities, start with mindfulness. Because psychic abilities is not something you can chase and develop on its own. The foundation for to be able to connect to the other dimension, to be able to channel, is a calm and centered emotional state, is a peaceful mind. So if you are interested in experiencing channeling consciously, we all channel consciously all the time, we are always channeling, but if you want to do it more consciously, to be able to communicate to your loved ones or guides or your higher self, then see how you can make yourself more mindful. You know, there are different types of meditations. There's meditation doesn't always mean you sit in one place and concentrate on breathing and becoming blind. Meditation can be done walking, working, doing dishes.
Yeah,
it can be doing anything. So it's just about being mindful, present, and not being in the past, not being in the future, but always present to what you're doing now. So that's a tip to develop your psychic abilities. Work on being more present, to be able to recognize what's going on in your awareness.
Totally agree. Anytime that I've channeled or I've connected to my higher self or to my spirit team, it's only ever when I go into my heart center and be still. So my mind, I literally take out my mind and, you know, stick it in my gut or my heart. This conscious brain switches off, because that conscious brain needs to find solutions and it needs to find explanations. It's analytical in its thinking. So your mind will always make you question your intuitive senses. So it's important to know that whenever you are trying to tune in, even if it's trying to tune into nature or trying to tune into your pet or your child, then the resonance comes from your center. It could be your solar plexus or your heart center, because that's where the field, and that's where we connect from, emanates from. So I totally agree. It is about mindfulness.
Yeah, anything that makes you comfortable. It can be any chakra that you can focus on, that makes you feel centered and calm and peaceful and relaxed.
Yeah.
Let's asking, Anne-Marie, what is Soul Academy? So tell us more about Soul Academy.
Yeah, so it's actually called the Soul Awakening Academy. So the Soul Awakening Academy is where I train soul awakening coaches to become life coaches and healers, life coaches and energy workers. So I teach people everything that I've learned: traditional life coaching, positive psychology, NLP, etc. But I also combine it with some kind of compassionate coaching. So we look at different techniques about letting go, about forgiveness, about the chakra system, about intuition. So it's really, I mean, people are a bit, they have different connotations with the word healing and the word spirituality. And that's okay, I understand. But for me, coaching, when you're helping someone, it's healing. It's helping someone. For me, that is healing in some way, shape or form. So the Soul Awakening Academy will be running in-person coaching training online as well. So I have people in America who want to join the Soul Awakening Coaching Academy, and they can do so. It's going to be starting in the new year, so I will, website please. I will put the link up to the website so you can check everything out. But so 2000 is going to be a really exciting year, and you know, Shruti is going to be a part of that with all the skills that she wants to offer under the umbrella of the academy. So it's good times.
Good times. Yeah, really excited to be able to be on board with you, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I'm sorry if Gary, I love that. Heartfulness. Oh, what a word. I love that. Well done, Gary. Now you've just given me a wondrous aha moment there. So well done. So thank you for joining. I hope we've got round to answering everybody's questions, but we will do it again. So I'll give you enough notice as I can when Shruti's back with us again. Okay, thanks guys. Take care.
Say bye to everyone. Yeah, he's blowing kisses.
Bye, Erik.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone, for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.